Even though it's mid-September, I have lots to show you. We're still doing lots of harvesting. We have bananas on, and the hummingbirds have been putting on quite a show recently. The tomato harvests are getting smaller and not as often, but we're still getting enough for us. I harvested this small crimson sweet watermelon recently, but we haven't cut into this one yet. Here's a look at that sun gold cherry tomato that I grafted 4 other tomatoes onto. It still has lots of blooms and tomatoes, and the grafts I did are starting to produce tomatoes too. This one is a lemon ice. Just beyond that one, the orange ones you can see are kookaburra cackle. And it looks like we have about 4 of those that are ripening. And looking at the dry appearance of those leaves right next to the tomatoes, it looks like we might have a case of spider mites going on. I'll have to take a closer look at that later, and if it needs it, I'll be spraying for those. In all, this plant has 5 different types of tomatoes growing on it. The original sun gold that you see there, and 4 dwarf types. Here are a couple more tomatoes that I think are Mar-a-Lago, and those grow fairly large. If this plant holds on and doesn't get diseased, it'll produce some nice later tomatoes for us. One of my favorite sweet pepper plants is Jimmy Nardello, and it still has lots of peppers on it, even though we've harvested quite a few. Our sweet basil is trying to produce flowers, and I don't want to save seeds, so I'm going to cut those flower heads off. I did a video on how to save basil seeds, so if you're interested in that, I'll put a link down below, along with links to other videos that might pertain to things you see in this video. The Mega Gold is finally starting to get some decent peppers on it, and it has 3 pretty large ones down near the bottom. And along with my other grafting projects, I grafted an Oda onto this plant, and it has a nice pepper on it too. Back when I was harvesting carrots, I had one really large one that I wanted to save seeds from, but it was already harvested, so I stuck it back in the ground, and it'll stay here all winter, and next year I'll save seeds from it. Our Musa velutina banana plants are producing flowers and bananas now. Those little pink bananas don't get much larger than that. This one is later, so the bananas are smaller. The Musa velutina bananas were shaded pretty badly by some of the Musa basjoo, so I cut 3 of those down. I'm not sure exactly how tall these 3 plants were, but it was over 10 feet. Some of the leaves on these banana plants can get very long. This one was 6 feet long. That's why they can grow in height so quickly. It's only been a couple of weeks since I cut them down, and this one has regrown and is almost 6 feet tall now. Pepper harvesting is a pretty regular activity this time of year, and that won't change till the first freeze. I picked a little bit of everything and then picked a few more, like that Mega Gold at the bottom. And just for good measure, I went back and picked a bunch of Oda and some Sugar Rush cream. We're still seeing quite a few migrating orioles, and the hummingbirds are putting on quite a show with their aerial battles. This time 3 of them got involved. They just can't seem to get along. We're trying to enjoy watching them while we can, because we know that before long they'll be gone and they won't return till spring. Here's a closer look at some of the hummingbirds at the feeder. They truly are fascinating little birds. It's amazing what kind of maneuvers they can do. I grew some sweet potatoes in this large plastic tub as an experiment. I grew them in about 90% sand with no fertilizer, just to see what would happen. They only got watered when it rained or when I had the lawn sprinklers on. I did get a couple of nice ones, but overall I would say the results were poor, as you might expect. Here's a look at what we got. This is one of my just for the fun of it grafting projects that I did this year. I have 8 peppers growing on this one plant. That one was an ahi rico. Right next to that is an ahi pineapple or lemon drop. I won't know that until I taste one. Then we have the F3 Black Pearl Hybrid. It's got dark purple peppers. This is a Heritage Big Gem pepper. Beyond that is the Buena Mulata that's purple. And we'll get a better look at some of those. It's got multiple peppers on that little graft, even though it's not very large. Then beyond that, we have some Cuban L peppers. I think there's about 3 of them on that graft. Then on the back of the plant, on the back side, we have some shishito peppers. And I almost forgot the mother plant, and that's a Sugar Rush Cream. So in total, we have 8 different peppers growing on one plant. There's a look at that dark purple foliage of the Black Pearl Hybrid. It's attractive even without peppers. Indoors, I started some F3 Purple Flash Hybrid peppers. I'm hoping to do a video on these soon. Don't forget to like this video and share it. And if you're just now finding this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We'll see you next time.